friends. Here we go again. Today we're going to be talking about the coordinate plane. Again, this is not new to you. You've had this at least in sixth grade and probably most of you in fifth. But there's some vocabulary that we need to review, and we need to talk about actually a scatter plot, and we need to plot some data. So I thought we could do this at home in your notes, and then when you come to class, we can do it on the Navigator, the TI Navigator, and have some time to play on our graphing calculators. So I've gone ahead and written in as best as I can some of these definitions, and we're going to kind of talk through it, and you're filling in your notes as we go along. Please pause this recording anytime you need to take a few extra minutes to fill in your particular note sheet. All right, here we go. We're going to start with coordinate plane, the x-axis, and the y-axis all together, because the coordinate plane is actually formed by the intersection of the x-axis, which is our horizontal number line, and the y-axis, which is our vertical number line. The coordinate plane looks like something you guys used to play Battleship with, where you can identify how to move on the x-axis and the y-axis and identify a particular point. So going down, after the x and the y-axis intersect, they actually divide the coordinate plane up into 4 unique sections. These are called quadrants, and we're actually going to talk about how the quadrants are numbered when we get to our picture of the coordinate plane at the bottom of the note section. The next vocab is origin, and that's the center point where the x and the y axes meet. That's called the origin. And then ordered pair is an important vocab word in this unit, because each point in the coordinate plane has a specific location called an ordered pair. It's called an ordered pair because the order matters. We list the way that you move on the x-axis first, and then the y-axis second. And they are written in this format. You can see I've written it here, x comma y, and you do put parentheses around them. This is a formal way to write a location, a specific location, on the coordinate plane. The reason why they put x first is because x comes first in the alphabet. So that's an easy way to remember which axis comes first, the x and then the y. Scatter plot is plotting some paired data, some ordered pairs on the coordinate plane, and we're actually going to do that on the back of this sheet. We're going to talk about an example of a scatter plot. So now the next thing I want you to do is to look at our example of describing, if you can follow this blinking cursor, describing how to plot these 3 points and then describe their location. I've actually written it out for the first one, the ordered pair 4, -7. If you were describing, you were having to describe to somebody how to plot that point, you would say you start at the origin. Everybody knows where that is. That's in the middle where the x and the y axes meet. You start at the origin. And go get the origin right here, and you move 4 units to the right. You move 4 units to the right because that is the x value. That is the value of our x piece of our ordered pair. So we've started at the origin. We move 4 units to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I got to drop this thing down a little bit further. Let's see if I can get him going. All right, I've moved 4 units to the right. I'm right here, but don't make your mark yet. We still have to move on the y-axis, which is up and down. We are going to go down 7 because our y coordinate is negative. It says go down on the y-axis instead of up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and here we are at the ordered pair 4, -7. And describing his location, he is in quadrant, we number them this way, 1, 2, 3, they go counterclockwise. and 4. So this particular point is in quadrant 4. Let's look back up. I think I've kind of messed up what this point is right here. Let me erase him a second. Let's describe the second point, which is 0, 3, this guy right here. Again, we're going to start at the origin. We are going to move 0 units on the x-axis. We're going to stay right where we are. And now we need to move on the y-axis. 3 is positive. Remember, we're doing this ordered pair. Start at the origin, move 0 on the x-axis, and we're going to move in the up direction, 3 units on the y-axis. And to describe his location, he is not in a quadrant. It's very important that you know if the point is on either of the x-axis or the y-axis, or in the case of the origin, he's on both axes, they are not considered to be in a quadrant. They are actually just on an axis. So his location is on the y-axis. Okay, so I've left a couple points for you. I'm actually going to let you do this one yourself, as well as these two here. You can just jot a note on your sheet, describe it, how you get to it, describe how you plot it, and then describe its location, meaning which quadrant is it in, or which axis is it? Or it might be the origin. Okay, let's look at the next page really quick, because this is an example of a scatter plot. A way a scatter plot data might be used. So here I am a pizza delivery person, and I am looking at my receipts for the week, and you can see I've defined how my ordered pairs look. The x coordinate is the amount of pizza in dollars, and the y coordinate is the amount of tip I received, again in dollars. I guess I should have put amount, not amount of pizza, because I don't care how many pizzas they ordered. Amount, dollar amount of pizza, and the amount of the tip in dollars. So in creating a scatter plot, the reason why it's called a scatter plot is because we just kind of scatter our data out there one point at a time, and we're not going to connect them. So for $10 in pizza sales, I got a $1 tip. Start at the origin, 10 to the right, and 1 up. There's my first data point for my scatter plot. I've done him. When I sold $15 worth of pizza, I got a $2 tip. Okay? When I sold $17 worth of pizza, which is kind of in between 15 and 20, I got a $3 tip, so I'm about right there. And then the next time I sold $20 worth, well, I still just got $3. And then I went and I delivered $15 worth of pizza, and they only gave me $1.50, so I'm kind of down here somewhere. And then the next time I sold a $17 order, I got $2, so I'm kind of right here. And then I sold $20 and got $2. And then I sold $20 and got $4, which is about right here. So this is just a real brief example of plotting some data. And now we kind of look at it and see, do we see any kind of pattern? And the general pattern here is that the more pizza I sell, generally speaking, the more tip I get. And this is a simplistic example, but scatter plots are used to tell about trends in data, and hopefully we'll be able to do some of that on our graphing calculator. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to listen again, or go back and pause and fill in the stuff that I've asked you to fill in. Bye-bye.